Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Grace Korea. Now, property worth multi-million shillings is set to be demolished as Kenya Railways moves in to reclaim the land where Luna Park sits for construction of the Nairobi Expressway Road project. Business people at the property near Uhuru Park claim that Kenya Railways has not been issued a notice to vacate and compensation to vacate. The business people claim there is a plan to demolish their structures over the acquisition of their land for the construction of the Nairobi Expressway Road project. The amusement park features a variety of leisure and gaming activities for families and children. They are not the only ones. Nairobi Railways Club was also given an 8-hour notice to vacate its premises or face eviction. Let's listen into a section of the business people.
Within hours, tubebe hizi mashini mnaona huku, tubebe hizi mabusiness mnaona huku, sijui tutabeba na nini, tuodoe zote kwa sababu they want the space clear. I wanted to make it very clear here. Luna Park has been here for the last 10 years. The last 10 years, we have not had much of a dispute with them. We pay them 600,000 per month. So the period we have been here, we have paid them 72 million. And this week alone, or in the last like 10 days, we have paid them 1.4 million. And we have the receipts. After this, you can look at them. Our lease was renewed by them in November last year for another 9 years. So we are here to stay for another 9 years. But if the road has to pass here, and they come and we sit down, and they say they will compensate us, we can leave. We have no problem with that.
It's hardly 1 month since we opened. Now, today we are told to pack our things and leave. We've spent so much money here. I think for them to do that, they need to give us time. One, you cannot just wake up and tell us to move out. We have our properties. We don't know where to take them right now as we speak.
We are aware that the law allows the government to acquire land for the public good through a compulsory acquisition act, but that act again provides a process through which those who are beneficiaries or those who are interested or working in that particular property have to be taken through a process where notices are given. These people have to relocate their businesses. There has to be some form of compensation also given to these traders.
Of course, this is a leased property. Any leased property, there is an exit clause. The exit clause calls for people to be compensated. We are asking for compensation. Even if it is a matter of urgency, it can take a day, it can take 2 days. We are saying, yes, we will comply. But in our as complying, we want to be compensated.
Now, the Nairobi Expressway is a 4-lane dual carriageway designed to run along the central reserve of the AH Road, starting from Lolongo all the way to James Gishuru Junction. Shadrach Miti is following up on this story now, joins us live. Good afternoon, Shadrach. Lots of desperation from the businessmen, and I know there's a meeting that was held today. How did it go?
Well, Grace, indeed, a while ago, we just had a conversation with the Nairobi Metropolitan Service Director General, Major General Mohammed Badi, who made some clarifications. Remember, up until last evening, the information that was coming through had it telling us that the land here where the Luna Park property sits is meant to be acquired to pave way for the construction of the Nairobi Highway Road project. But it has since been established that what the government is doing, remember previously this land belonged to the Kenya Railways retirement benefits scheme, but now what has happened in the past few days, it appears the government has done what we call a government-to-government transaction, and this land has since been moved from the Kenya Railways pension benefits scheme to the national government, and it's being placed under the Nairobi Metropolitan Services with a view to paving way for the construction of the Nairobi's biggest bus terminal that is said to be serving vehicles coming all the way from Ngong Road and Mombasa Road to what the Director General of the NMA says it's aimed at decongesting the Nairobi city. And so just a matter of clarification is that the land that is being acquired is no longer meant for the construction of the road, but for the construction of a bus terminal that is set to kick off any time from now. However, remember last evening when we were here, many traders made their displeasure known. They expressed their concern, and many of them were so desperate. We saw some of them crying, saying that they have invested lots of millions of shillings here, but now that investment was now being threatened with being demolished and brought down in just a very short moment. But that has been addressed, and the fears have been allayed by the Director General himself, Major General Badi, who says the business, and especially those operating under the Luna Park Business Center, none of the businesses shall be affected, and that every person here has been given the assurance that they will continue operating. However, even as they continue operating, they have been told that the businesses will have to be aligned or realigned to fit into the new program, because the government intends to make this place the biggest terminus and the most modern one to serve Nairobi. But even as that appears to have happened, the other section of investors within the same land, and largely those operating in the motor bazaar or those selling motor vehicles. Remember, just outside the Luna Park, we have areas where we have people who sell their cars. Those areas have not been spared, and in fact, most of them were demolished last night. But the Director General has made it clear that if anyone is disgruntled as per what has happened, then they have every right to go to court to seek compensation, and that compensation will have to take place between the traders affected and the Kenya Railways retirement benefit scheme, who are the original owners of the lease. Because remember, the original lease agreement was between traders and the Kenya Railways retirement benefit scheme. But that has since moved, and even in the movement of that and the change of ownership, it means there's some legal implication that will occur in the event someone goes to court seeking the true position of their lease, because they say the lease cost them millions of shillings and they are not willing to let their investment go to waste. Grace.
Okay, Shadrach, thank you so much for that detailed report. We shall definitely be waiting to see how all this pans out. Once again, thank you, Shadrach Miti. Let's move on now, and Kapseret Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi will this afternoon know whether or not he will be released on bail, with the state seeking to detain him for 14 more days to conclude investigations. Okay, we will be getting that story from Nakuru, but first let's cross over to Tanzania now. And the Tanzania government